Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another video. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated on all my future content. So this video is going to be a review of multi-digit subtraction with regrouping. Our first example problem is 41,938 minus 25,471, and I'm going to go through step by step how to solve that problem. So when it comes to subtraction, we regroup whenever there is a bottom digit that is bigger than the top digit. So before we do any subtracting, we always check to see if regrouping is needed. Now looking at this problem, we have to regroup in the thousands place because you cannot start out with 1 and take away 5. Hundreds place is fine. We have to regroup in the tens place because you cannot start out with 3 and take away 7. You cannot subtract 7 from 3, so we have to regroup there. So now that we've recognized where we need to regroup, now we can start. We're going to regroup from left to right, and then we are going to subtract from right to left. So again, regroup from left to right, subtract right to left. So starting in the thousands place, we're going to take a 10 from the 10,000s place. That 1 is going to become an 11. And then the 4 is going to become a 3. Next, going to the tens place. Again, you can't start with 3 and take away 7, so you have to take a 10 from the hundreds place. The 9 is going to become an 8. And then the 3 is going to become a 13. All right, now all our regrouping is complete. All the top digits are either equal to or bigger than all the bottom digits, so now we are ready to subtract. So starting in the ones place, 8 minus 1 equals 7. 13 minus 7 equals 6. 8 minus 4 equals 4. 11 minus 5 equals 6. 3 minus 2 equals 1. And we have our final answer. 41,938 minus 25,471 equals 16,467. All right. Next example problem. Next example problem right here, 30,117 minus 15,981. So again, before we do any subtraction, we see where regrouping is needed or if it is needed. Now looking at this problem, the 10,000s place is fine. The thousands place, again, we have to regroup. You cannot start out with a 0 and take away 5. In the hundreds place, we have to regroup because you can't start out with 1 and take away 9, and in the tens place we have to regroup. You can't start out with 1 and then take away 8. So we know where we need to regroup, so now we're going to get it started. So we have to regroup in the thousands place, so we're going to take a 10. From the 10,000s place, the 3 is going to become a 2, and that 0 is going to become a 10. Now we have to regroup in the hundreds place also. You cannot start out with 1 and take away 9, so that 1's going to become an 11. We always take 1 away from the column to the left, so that 10 is going to become a 9. Now in the tens place, again, you can't start out with 1 and take away 8, so we take a 10. The 1 becomes an 11, and then the 11 in the hundreds place becomes a 10. And now we are ready to subtract. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm. Seven minus 1 equals 6. 11 minus 8 equals 3. 10 minus 9 equals 1. Shout out to the person that just hit the like button. I appreciate you. 9 minus 5 equals 4. 2 minus 1 equals 1. And we have our final answer, 30,117 minus 15,981 equals 14,136. All right, moving on to example number 3. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. It's the Mr. C. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. Shout out to Mr. C. All right, next example problem, 64,152 minus 48,918. Again, before we do any subtraction, we check and see if regrouping is needed. And we are going to need to regroup. We're looking at the thousands place. You can't start out with 4 and take away 8. You cannot start out with 1 and take away 9. And you cannot start out with 2 and take away 8. So we are going to need to regroup in the thousands place, the hundreds place, and the ones place. Now we're going to regroup from left to right and subtract from right to left. So to regroup in the thousands place, we're going to take a 10 from the 10,000s place. The 6 is going to become a 5. The 4 is going to become a 14. Looking in the hundreds place, we have to take a 10 from the thousands place, so the 1's going to become an 11. And then the 14 is going to become a 13. It's always add 10 to the column that needs to be regrouped, and then take away a 1 from the column to the left. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for subbing. I am glad you're here. Now in the ones place, you cannot start out with 2 and take away 8. So again, we're taking a 10 from the tens place. The 2 becomes a 12, and the 5 in the tens place becomes a 4. And now we are ready to subtract. Shout out to the person that just hit the like button. I appreciate you. So now we are subtracting from right to left. We start in the ones place. 12 minus 8 equals 4. 4 minus 1 equals 3. 11 minus 9 equals 2. 13 minus 8 equals 5. 5 minus 4 equals 1. And we have our final answer. 64,152 minus 48,918 equals 15,234. All right, moving on to the final example of the video. Shout out to the person that just put the answer in the chat. He is correct. All right, so the next example, 71,949 minus 60,875. So again, before we do any subtraction, we check and see if regrouping is needed, and we regroup whenever there is a bottom digit that is bigger than the top digit. So looking at this problem, we do not need to regroup in the 10,000s place. We do not need to regroup in the thousands place. We do not need to regroup in the hundreds place. In the tens place, we will need to regroup. We need to regroup in the tens place because you cannot start out with 4 and take away 7. And we will not need to regroup in the ones place. So it's only the tens place that needs regrouping for this one. So we regroup by adding a 10 and then taking 1 away from the column to the left. So the area that needs to be regrouped, the tens place, we're going to add 10. That 4 is going to become a 14. And then we have to take away 1 from the number in the hundreds place. That 9 is going to become an 8. And now we are ready to subtract. So starting in the ones place, 9 minus 5 equals 4. 14 minus 7 equals 7. 8 minus 8 equals 0. 1 minus 0 equals 1. And 7 minus 6 also equals 1. And we have our final answer. 71,949 minus 60,875 equals 11,074. Yeah, you were close, but not quite. Yeah, 11,074 is correct. But you were close. All right, that is my video for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video. And if there was an area of math or reading that you're having difficulty with, put that in the comments, and I will do a future video on that skill. Until next time, this is Mr. Camilleri signing off. Huge thank you to everybody that tuned in and everybody that subscribed.